Here we go again. Hey guys, and welcome to another one of these videos where we're going to be going into the Pokemon scalping situation and the Pokemon market. And believe it or not, it's gotten even worse since last time, which was less than 2 months ago. Now you'd expect a video like this to be made maybe next year because it shouldn't have gone up at such an exponential rate. But within the span of about 5 or 6 weeks, we're already back here and it's like doubly bad as it used to be. To put it into short terms, the Pokemon trading card game is now the complete antithesis of what it's supposed to be. Now the entire meta of it is just keep your products sealed and sell them in like 10 years. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't care what you guys do with your Pokemon products. You guys can literally keep a booster box from every single era, every single set. That's fine with me because sometimes people put them on display and it looks pretty nice. But when it comes to like the market, this is why the market looks so ridiculous. You're seeing like a set with no chase cards, like you saw with the intro, Scarlet and Violet base set with Rebel Clash being over $500 each, and probably Canadian even more. For what? There's anything crazy about those sets. I mean, you have the Giovanni card and the Marnie card, but that's really about it. Everything else, it's like your average V card, and that's it. Now, this video isn't really meant to be pointing fingers at anyone, like the people who do collect sealed products from here and there. Just keep in mind that this might be the reason why everything goes up so much. Now, I get it. Some people are less guilty of it than others. I mean, sometimes I keep stuff sealed because I save it for like subscriber specials, but like for the most part, I'm opening whatever I get. If it's like a super old product from like, let's say 15 years ago, then it's like, okay, I understand why you want to keep it sealed. Either that's like a thing you would want to sell in the future. But like, let's take a look at today's timeline with, now we have Prismatic Evolutions, we have the new Black Bolt White Flare, and the new Mega Evolution sets coming out very soon. People are probably going to be keeping those sealed even though the sets are brand new. Why? Because the meta has allowed these booster boxes to be worth $300 or more. And like single packs are going to be double digits no matter what. And actually, I actually have a little bit of a theory. I guarantee you Pokemon can make the worst set of all time. They can literally make a 500 card set of just a blank sheet of cardboard, put 500 of those, but it's, as long as it's branded as Pokemon, it'll be worth something. Like, here guys, the new Scarlet and Violet set, or the new Mega Evolution set, literally cardboard with no Pokemon on it, or no Ultra Rares. It's just 500 pieces of cardboard throughout the entire set, and it's worth $300 for the ETB because it's Pokemon. And people are going to keep that sealed as well, even though probably no one's going to buy it other than the scalpers. Now, I get it, at times keeping stuff sealed, yeah, it goes up in about like 5 years or so, or maybe sell it short term because it exploded in value one day. But I just got to ask sometimes, what's the point of keeping stuff sealed? Like for the Pokemon meta or the Pokemon TCG, why are we keeping stuff sealed? Even like the modern stuff. Like I get the older stuff to an extent, but the modern stuff, there's really no point. And there are people excuses as, oh, we're going to make money off this one day. Don't worry. We'll keep this sealed for 25 years and maybe it'll be worth like double the amount. You know, it'll go from like 100, 200 bucks. But at the same time, like, would you rather keep the box sealed or maybe pull a chase card and keep that in good condition at least? I'd rather take a chance at opening the stuff because if I'm buying a Pokemon box, I'm sorry guys, but I'm opening it. That's the entire point of the Pokemon TCG. Like, obviously, like, if we're talking about base set, we're talking almost 30 years ago now, or well, 25 years ago, but 30 years ago for some of the even older sets, like Top Sun cards. Yeah, keeping that sealed is a different story. But why stuff like Destined Rivals? Like, isn't that like a few months old? What's the point? Just take a chance, open it. You don't do well, oh, too bad, I guess. I mean, again, that's the whole point of it. And in the end, a lot of us aren't doing this for the money. We are doing this because we want to pull a chase card that we really like. Maybe someone wants to pull the Rockets Mewtwo or the Rockets Moltres card from Destined Rivals. Or let's go back like 5 or so years, back to like the Sword and Shield era. Let's take Chilling Reign. We wanted to go for the Shadow Rider or Ice Rider Calyrex cards. Yeah, they were like $70, $80 each, but they had really nice artworks. And that also goes for Evolving Skies. That came right after it. Evolving Skies had most of the evolutions as alt arts, including and stuff like Rayquaza. But people didn't want it because they were valuable, or maybe that's just my assumption. But some people actually wanted the Moonbreon because they really like the artwork. But no, like there's like this other half of people that are saying, oh my gosh, guys, it's Umbreon. It's going to be worth so much money because, you know, Umbreon, it's worth like, now it's worth like $1,800. So it's, there it is. Yeah, the artwork's stunning, but who gives a shit about the artwork, right? I mean, let's just like keep the card here because it'll be worth like $2,000, $3,000 one day. And if you look at the card now, it's going down. Well, it's still at $1,800, which is still quite a chunk of change, but it is going down from where it used to be. One more example, let's look at Prismatic Evolutions. We have my two personal favorites are the Flareon and the Espeon alt arts, which these ones I think look the best in my opinion. I think honestly the Sunbreon is just kind of a worse version of the Moonbreon, yet it's still worth a lot of money. But again, it doesn't matter, like at times, it's not even the artwork that matters. It's just the card itself and the Pokemon that's on it. You can literally make a Gengar card or a Umbreon card or a Garchomp card because of Cynthia. You can literally make any of those Pokemon on a card that looks like and people will still want like a lot of money for it and it'll still be worth so much because it's that specific Pokemon. Or like, let's say, well, Charizard for the most part, usually their artworks sit pretty well. Maybe the Terra ones not so much, like the Terra Charizard EX or the Gold version. Some Charizards not so much, but Charizard is Charizard, I guess. Like Charizard's like one of the top, if not the most popular Pokemon. And yeah, don't cope and say Greninja's the most popular because let's be honest, if we're talking about most recognizable, Charizard is without a doubt like tied with Pikachu at first place. Another stupid thing we need to mention is what's considered vintage nowadays. Because if we talk about vintage stuff, we would probably think of Pokemon sets from like 8 to 10 years ago. So we're talking early Sun and Moon to like late XY, give or take. But if we're talking about prices, a normal vintage price nowadays, we're talking sets that are like 2 to 3 years old. We're talking like the last sets of Sword and Shield, like all the ones with the trainer galleries. Brilliant Stars at one point was $500 for a booster box, which is absurd for a set that's only 3 or 4 years old. Because again, I remember, I think it was during like the mid-Sun and Moon era, you could still find stuff like Roaring Skies and Primal Clash, even if the packs were like $10 to $12 each. Because at that point, they were like maybe 4 years old, but they were still feasible to find, and they weren't like $20 to $30 a pack at that point. I think they hit $20 to $30 when they were like 6 or 7 years old, which makes sense. But now you're getting stuff like, again, Prismatic, while it's gone down, it's still at $15 to $20 a pack when the set is pretty much brand new. And then you're going back to like, let's go to Paldea Evolved, which has some nice artworks, but why is an LE Trainer box $100+ and a booster box is like 300 something? When we're still talking Scarlet and Violet, we're talking only 2 years ago. Well, I shouldn't say only 2 years ago. I can't believe Scarlet and Violet is already 2 years ago, but 2 years on the timeline of the entire Pokeverse, that's like next to nothing. Now let's talk about the new Mega Evolution sets coming out soon. What's the point of even being excited anymore if the 90% of us aren't going to be able to get these things because they're going to be too expensive? I mean, all the Scaliburs are probably going to be excited because they're about to rip people off about it, selling the booster boxes for $300 to $500 each when they should be at their MSRP of like $150 to maybe $160 at most. I expect these to be a little more than normal because they are going to be very popular when they come out, obviously, because people have been waiting for the Mega Evolutions ever since, well, Evolutions from 2016. And same here, I was a diehard fan of the XY era. I really liked the Mega Evolutions and the Full Arts. The Full Art Megas were some of the best cards alongside with the Full Art Team Plasma EXs from the Black and White era. But what's the point now? We've waited 9 years for the Megas to come back, and now, like, what's the point? We waited 9 years for what? Like, now we're not going to get these unless maybe we will. Maybe we'll get these cards one day, but we're going to have to pay some stupid amount of money to get them. And let's also look at Legend ZA with the new Mega Evolutions that have been released so far. We have Mega Dragonite and Mega Victory Bell. Okay, Mega Dragonite, that's really cool. People say he looks underwhelming, which I kind of agree. He does look underwhelming, but far from bad, if you know what I mean. Like, he could have been much worse. And then Mega Victory Bell looks, I'm going to be honest with you, really stupid, but in a kind of good way. He looks really funny. But this is like the last thing I expected from Mega Victory Bell. It looks like stupid. I don't know why it doesn't look like it's like ferocious. Like it's a pitcher plant. It's supposed to be ferocious. Why does it look like a goofball? I'll be honest with you guys, the new mega cards that are coming out, they don't look nearly as good as the original ones, but that's honestly a given. And some other things I'm just noticing is, can you just bring back the fairy type? Like Mega Diancie as a psychic type just doesn't cut it. And why is Mega Charizard X a fire type? Like, why is it not dragon type like it used to be? Dragon type still exists in the meta, so what's the point? Why would you make Mega Charizard X just a normal fire type? What happens when Mega Charizard Y comes back? You're going to have two fire types? They're going to look exactly the same. So I'm saying, guys, the quality of Pokemon has been going down ever since. I don't know if you guys have been seeing. I think X, Y, and Black and White were the peak, but that's just my opinion. And then ever since, they've just been going straight down to the ditch. Like, we've gotten some cool stuff like alt arts, illustration rares. They're all really cool, but when you start overboarding the sets with all these illustration rares and art cards, yeah, they become expensive for no reason because there's so many of them. Like, I'm more surprised that so many illustration rares are over $10 when most of them shouldn't be. Because some of them look really basic, some of them look really bad, but there is a good chunk of them that look good. But I guarantee you, going back to what I said about the good Pokemon artwork, like take Scolipede as an example. Scolipede is a super underrated Pokemon in my eyes. Basically has no EX card, no ultra rares. I think at the very most he may have a holo card in one of his first debuts, but he has no EX card, and honestly I think is a Pokemon that deserves a new Mega Evolution because he is so underrated. Like, you can make a Scolipede card that looks like an absolute masterpiece, and I guarantee the card will be worth about $10 at most. One thing we can finish on is the hobby itself, of how it'll never be the same. And I just feel bad for all the genuine collectors and the kids, how they're going to have to see Pokemon in this light. Although it's not really a light if you ask me, because I'm not smiling at it. I'm more smiling at the stupidity of it, but I'm not laughing at it. I just don't believe, like, what I thought was a once-a-while thing, like the fights of Pokemon cards, because it happened before, like, every so often, but now it's like what Pokemon is. It's just like, no one's able to enjoy this. And believe it or not, even the scalpers, I don't think, enjoy this at all, because no one's going to be buying from them. They think, like, oh, I'm going to get this from Costco, sell it for triple the price. Yeah, you might have a sucker here and there, but what's the point? You're going to be, like, basically knocking your head against the wall or banging your head against the wall because no one's going to be buying this stuff because you're treating it like an evil corporation. Me, at almost 20 years old, and my Pokemon collecting career at almost 16 years of that, yeah, Pokemon has been part of 80% of my life, which is really crazy to think about. And I thought I was going to grow out of it, which obviously that didn't happen. I'm still going. Not very strong, though, because of what's been happening. But this might be the reason I quit, which is in the most unfortunate way possible. I'll still buy a Pokemon product every so often if it's at a decent price, but that's going to be like a once-a-lifetime kind of thing nowadays. Before, just a month ago, it was like a once every so often. Now it's like once a lifetime. And if I had to guess, it's only going to get worse from here. Although, if we refer back to my first video on this topic about some of the things we can do, maybe we can bring this back to normal. Maybe the Pokemon TCG, the slim chance that it has, maybe we can bring it back to what it used to be. Anyhow, guys, that's going to be it for tonight's video. If anyone is new here, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. I have a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And currently right now I'm working on a more consistent upload schedule. Well, this video kind of being the start of that because we already broke the streak from our last one, which was about 12 days ago, which I'm trying to aim for about once a week on all of my videos in general. If anyone wants to know what I do for content, it is in my YouTube channel description, and I'll also show it to you guys right here on screen right now. And if you guys want to, like or dislike this video. Also, guys, let me know down in the comments, do you guys think the Pokemon TCG will ever go back to normal, or do you think it's only going to get worse as the years go by? Anyhow, guys, that's going to be it for tonight's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.